Got a Chinook coming into East Sale. It's coming in late, barely visible through the smoke. It can only be less than a kilometre away. Chinook coming into East Sale. What's the topic of today's video? Well, one I wish it really wasn't, and it's fires. So, as you may or may not know from my previous video, which was a quick update, Australia's pretty well screwed as far as fires go, and there's no end in sight at the moment. I've cancelled my trips to my trip in March to Corowa for the military vehicle gathering because all the roads are closed and it's burning, and I don't think I could go and have fun at this point. They're not going to be done. It's only January now, but it's not going to be over by then. So I'm going to pick up my hat here and I'm going to prep my camper trailer here and the messy rear end of my Land Rover here. I'm going to try and pack as many supplies as I can in here. I'm going to go park over at the local relief centre, which is right across the road from me. And I'm going to set up a desk and try and get a few of the local experts in to help me as well, and just do some repairs for free. Try and help anybody out with their comms or their laptop issues. And I borrowed some charging leads off Tinkerman Mick of various types. He may or may not show up to help us. We'll find out. He's got a lot on his hands at the moment too. And there's a local computer repair guy as well who's knowledgeable in areas that I'm not. I'm going to get him in as well, if he'll go. He's been busy looking after his own as well. Everybody's really trying hard, but my MS is flaring up a bit today. I had troubles walking this morning. I had to call off a few important things that I needed to do because of that. So I'm going to set up a chair and a table, set up my camper as some sheltered work area, and try and get something happening. And yeah, see if we can help some of these people out and take some of the stress off me. I feel like I'm not participating because I've been a fire spotter for 8 years. Normally I'm up doing a job, actively trying to help see these things before they become a huge problem. But this year I can't. I've been prevented by the MS. So I'm going to do the next best thing. Sit down and fix stuff. At least my brain still sort of works. It's full of lesions, but it's still working well enough to fix stuff. So tonight I've got to do a few things, and the first job, I'm going to take these little spade bits, I'm going to drill a hole through a piece of timber, make a mod that means I can set up that camper one person easily and safely. Once I've done that, I'm going to start loading some supplies up. So yeah, let's get cracking. Okay, this bit's a little bit hard to do one-handed, but we'll have a crack. This board I put in the tail hitch of the trailer, and it does have a tail hitch for daisy chaining them. I put that in temporarily to hold the rope for the rear wall when I've only got one person to help. And the problem is it does generally like to try and fall out. So I've taken the hitch pin from the rear, I've drilled a hole, if you can probably see through here, and so that should just drop in. And if I do this one-handed, I'll look like a pro. But that should just drop in, and we can push that right in. That way that board is not going anywhere, and I can temporarily hitch my rope to that. Once everything's up and stable, I can remove this bar, but that just makes it about 100 times easier for me to do that on my own. So yeah, sorry for the camera work. I'm on my own at the moment, and my apprentice of course is doing what apprentices do and slacking off on the job. But anyway, all right, let's get back to this. Okay, so I've packed a basic assortment of spares. I've got the mattresses for the camper in the back here as well. I've got some of my old tool bags. I've got my tower contingency kit. I've got a few other spares. My solar battery bank is charged. I've got my emergency field repair kit that's got most of my common tools. My good expensive multimeters in there. I've got leads from Mick. I'm not going too far, I'm only going across the road. I could probably always send a gopher back for stuff. I've checked that my 4G modem works. I'll put credit on that tonight. So if somebody needs to activate something online, whatever, we can hook them up to the 4G modem on this. Because I expect that the internet at the showgrounds are going to be a little bit overwhelmed by the number of evacuees that are there at the moment. I'll probably fix my Geiger counter tonight, but I probably won't need that. I don't think radiation is going to be a problem for anything here. That's mostly for curiosities when I go to op shops. And I realised my finger was in the way, and I also need to put another zip tie around that sometime too. But right now I don't need to bother. Okay, I've decided I'm going to take the reflow station, and to save me having to remove this bracket, I'm going to bring a magnet and a blob of blue tack. Which means I actually probably do need to bring a blob of blue tack, but I've bought like 5 or 6 new packets of it and hidden them away somewhere. I might just take a new packet with me. And I'm going to use my Ryobi bag to carry all this. And I'll take all the Ryobi stuff out and put it in anyway. Alright, let's get this packed up. Alright, so I've been for a late night run and picked up some tables and some extra bits and pieces I needed. And picked up a piece of core flute on the way, which of course I'm going to stick some of these bits of paper to. I think all my good wide bits of tape are in the vehicle now. But I'll find some duct tape or something and I'll stick these down onto that core flute after I give it a bit of a wet down and a clean off. I've got the stuff here, and yeah, we'll have a sign ready. We'll be almost packed then. Okay, so there's our sign with a bit of packing tape. I found the packing tape gun, which of course attracts apprentices every time I use it. I've got a sign done. So, it's about all I can do for tonight. Got my notes. My handwriting took a hit with the last bout of, well, actually with a bout of MS some time ago.
I found that.
My apprentice wants to make a sign herself now with some mangled core flute. Anyway, I've got some few things to tick off my list, but yeah, we'll be getting underway fairly soon. I'll probably start this video again in the morning. Alright, sign complete. I'm going to need to supply myself. I don't want to be eating into the supplies for the evacuees, so this was a nice little gift that I can't open one-handed. The handle turns into an eating knife. The other end is a spork. Handy bits of gear. I've got my kidney cups, my old canteens, my webbing kit. Got everything I need to eat in there. I'm just going to clean everything up, refurbish it. Find my little gas stove because I'm not using a hexi cooker. Or that I can probably steal some hot water from. The kitchen's up there anyway. And I'll throw a bit of lunch in. I've got some mementos. They've been in here since last fire season. It's my fire towel bag. Had a bit of a clean up, but it's still a bit dirty and mangled. So yeah, we'll get some lunch on the way. Yeah, and then it'll be off in the morning. Alright, so there is one more piece of gear that I have a loan of for a very short amount of time. This is the P25 trunk radio that I used in the fire tower. They haven't asked for it back yet. It certainly needs to go back to them, and I've tried to get hold of my old boss to see if he needs it. Apparently they're all using UHF radios in the towers at the moment, so I've got this one on loan for the next couple of days. Alright, well, it's the next morning. Yeah, it looks a little smoky out there, but not as bad as it was the other day. Now, my legs kind of let me down last night. I had a bit of a fit, which meant that I couldn't walk. They were very painful and numb and contracting and all sorts of stuff, which tells me there's probably parts of my spine that are starting to demyelinate lower down than they originally did. So there might come a day where I'm in a wheelchair. It also means today is an anti-inflammatory day. I'm going to fill myself up full of anti-inflammatories. So I have them over here somewhere. And I've got some of these things to take as well. Expensive little critters. Yeah, I'll try and push through today. It's frustrating to have those barriers in the way. Anyway, I've got to get my lunch together, and my apprentice is dead to the world after trashing the house until something like 1 AM this morning. So yeah, looks like I'm on breakfast duty. Well, breakfast of the champions. My apprentice is still not awake, as you can tell.
Yeah,
But
so my brother was saying mistakes and I did.
yeah, I scared her last night, and she dropped her favourite lamp and broke it. And I glued it back together overnight, so she's happy with me again.
And I did scream.
Yeah, I was in the dog box. Anyway, time for breakfast. Alright, well we're set up and just waiting for the rain to clear and put the signs out. Alright, well I'm set up, everything's all laid out, signs up, we'll see what we can do. Well, I've been here a couple of hours now and nobody's needed anything repaired yet. No, we'll keep waiting.
She's doing alright. She's reading kids' books.
Ah. So my apprentice got sick of waiting, so she's come down to help out with the sorting, as has my mother. So she's happily helping test the donations and helping sort stuff out. Well, nothing we can do, I guess. Well, that's the end of day one, and I know there wasn't much of on-site footage, and that's because I pretty well sat around in the rain the entire day. We did do one thing. We fixed some guy's fridge, car fridge. He packed all his meat in as he was evacuating, got to the refuge area and discovered everything had thawed out and had to discard it. We discovered that the AC power supply he'd been using for it, it was a multi-mode thing. It could be used as a charger as well. And so he just flicked the switch to charger mode and it wasn't supplying on the lighter socket output. So we tested everything, flicked the switch, plugged it in, and it worked. It worked fine. He was very happy. He'd never actually investigated the charger and didn't know the switch was there. But that's literally all we did for the whole day. So I think my mother got in and helped sort some stuff out, and my daughter kept some of the evacuee kids happy and busy with a friend. So yeah, we've got. I'm going to go back tomorrow. I've got a couple of museum duties to do first thing in the morning, but once that's done, yeah, I'll go back and have another go. So yeah, let's we'll probably cut to me departing for that. All right, so the start of day two, it's still raining nicely, but it's as smoky as hell and there's a really acrid smell in the air. If you're in Australia, you'll probably know that Australian bushfire smell. If you're not, it's very distinct from things like the pine forest of California. It's a very pungent, very strong smell. Anyway, I've still got trailer hitched up and all my gear's still in here. So yeah, I need to figure out where I'm going to set up today. I think they did offer yesterday that I could set up inside the pavilion, and I think I'll probably take up that offer. As I don't know if I'll have an awning to sit under like I did yesterday, but yeah, I'll sort of wing it. I printed some new signs and we'll see how we go. Hopefully we can actually help a few people today. But I guess the guy whose fridge we fixed yesterday, he was very appreciative, so yeah. Alright, yeah, let's get cracking. Alright, it's time to warm up the glow plugs and get the beast happening. I've got to come up with a name for this rover one day. Alright, oil filter lights off. Let's see if I can reverse a trailer first thing in the morning. The footage isn't great right now, but might give you a bit of an idea of what it's like out here. I think I'll pull up and refocus this. Right, I'm going to give you a bit of a look of exactly what the area looks like at the moment. I've got to wait a minute before I can merge into traffic, but position this camera a little bit better. Let's get moving. So off to the left here is the showgrounds. That's where I'll be back shortly. I've got some museum duties to do first. But yeah, we'll be heading off into an area they call the Pleurisy Plains. And it's well known for being very, very windy. But one of the side effects is that when it is windy, it brings a lot of the smoke through. Alright, well, we're getting a little closer to the museum now, and it's actually getting a lot thicker. I had to back the speed off and put the lights on and everything just to make sure that I'm well visible. There's speed bumps. And I have a trailer on that jumps around like an angry kangaroo, so I don't want to hit these too hard. Right now we're heading towards TAFE, and note the big brown sign that says Gippsland Armed Forces Museum. I'm going to hit another speed bump. It's a pity it's so smoky today. I'd love this to be better footage. We're going to hit yet another speed bump, and that'll be the last one. Now we're going to go right past the TAFE. We're going to head for the SOC Survival Training Facility, which I've actually done sea survival training in there, by the way. It's a lot of fun. We're going to sneak around behind this alleyway, and we'll be adjacent to the runways. And there's a big parking area right here. Alright, and I'm going to, because I've got a trailer on, I'm going to park like a dick. But here's our museum, if anybody's looking for it. Alright, I'm going to get on with some official duty, and then we'll be off to the repairs again. I barely see the bloody traffic lights. I think the wind is definitely coming to the west now. Alright. This is going to be a fun day. In fact, it's worse. The camera's doing a pretty good job of cleaning up that picture. But yeah. Alright. Let's see what we can do, I guess. Alright, well, I've got a bit of space inside today. Because it's still wet and raining outside. A whole lot more comfortable this time. And a little bit more interest today, but I've still got to get everything laid out and set up. Get phone chargers and whatnot all happening. And I've got power. So we're doing well. Alright, so the workspace is set up. Time to get to work. And we're going to Waco as the first job. Alright, so first job is this Waco fridge. I've had a look at it, it's no life at all out of it, but I'm hearing a click from the mains plug when I plug it in. So I'm trying to get into this fuse enclosure here, see if it's just simply got a blown fuse. Although it does have emergency override, but I don't want to do that unless it's got some sort of power supply fault. So we'll have a look in here, we'll take a bit of time and see what we can do. Oh, there's our fuse out. Let's see what the state of the fuse looks like. Well, let's bring the light around here. Fuse looks okay. I'll test it with a meter, but it could be something else in the supply.
Hey, you can see there.
Oh, that's what I got the light for.
Geez, how's this going? I'm interested in this.
Yeah. Well, I'm getting there. I'm just checking the fuse to start with. There's no life out of it at the moment, but yeah. Oh, that's right. I've got a fuse goes in that way. So fuse is fine.
Oh, it's not mine. I'm
Yeah.
just sticking nose.
So we're halfway through this, and we've had a call to go and look at a vehicle immobiliser. So we're going to run across the park and see what we can do from there. So packing up a few tools, and we'll go and sort that out. We've got the immobiliser working.
Yeah, you've got it in one already. Oh, you've got
Aha!
it. Good.
Success! Yeah. This resin's a pain to work with. Oh, it's like a silicon coating, I can feel it. It's
Okay.
rubbery, and the back of the board's got it. Oh, that's a silicon conformal coating.
Yeah.
It's designed to water resist it. Yeah. Alright, well the videos have been a bit fragmented and far between today, but we have actually done some repairs. I'm just starting to pack up on the end of day 2. that's blown a major power diode. We're going to have to find another one of them, but that's not urgent. That's not an evacuee job. Yeah, I've done a lot of little things today. Talked to a lot of people. I got a donation of alcohol swabs, which has been handy. Yeah, but it looks like tomorrow I'm getting roped into helping deliver horse feed. So yeah, I'll have to take all this home and empty out the back of the Rover again. But yeah, it'll be interesting. Alright, yeah, I'm going to get on with packing up. Okay, so we're packed up, end of day 2. I think I'll come back towards the end of the week. That's when they're expecting me. We're expecting more people. So yeah, I guess I'm going to go home, have some dinner, clear this Rover out completely, and yeah, I had thought about lifting the camper component out of that so I can use the trailer as well, but I think my other half's going to, or my senior financial manager, we'll call her, is going to take a trailer on her Jeep, and I'm going to take a Land Rover with an empty tray, and I think between us should be able to get a lot of horse feed moved. Anyway, we'll come back to that soon. I'm not sure how this video is going to go. It's going to be a little fragmented, so I'll have another chat once I get home. Alright, so we're heading home after day 2. I'm in low range just so I don't exceed any pedestrian speed limits in here. But yeah, filled up again a little bit today with more caravans. Had about 100 people leave yesterday, and about a quarter of them got turned back again. But yeah, they're expecting some hotter temperatures towards the end of the week, and that might result in more evacuees. So just asked them to give me a call if they start getting requests for this sort of service, and probably tomorrow we're going to go down to Bairnsdale. Alright, we'll talk at home. Alright, well, we're back home again, and this is the end of 2 days worth of stuff, and I might yawn in the middle of this because I'm quite tired, even though physically it hasn't been too demanding. Emotionally it's been very demanding, and as I've probably mentioned many times in my other videos, I have multiple sclerosis, and that does limit what I can do in a day, and I've sort of overextended myself. In any case, the relief area is sort of a bit sparsely populated at the moment, although they are expecting some more to come back towards the end of the week as well, quite a few. So we'll be, yeah, I'll probably be back there towards the end of the week. I had planned to put a lot more on this video in terms of what's to come tomorrow, but most of that's up in the air, not really confirmed all that much. So I think I'm going to call this video quits right here and leave it as it is. Yeah, I'll continue to do what I'm trying to do to help people, but at the same time, I can't run myself into the ground doing it. So, yeah, if I seem a little distracted, I'm quite tired, and this whole set of fires is massive. It's just off the charts. I haven't looked at the records for a bit, exactly how far it is or what's going on. I've needed to take a moment to just disconnect from it, because yeah, it can take a toll, and I'm somewhat speechless to explain just the extent of all of these fires. So yeah, but yeah, I want to express my condolences to those that have lost lives and homes and everything. And the one bit I can't get past this is the estimated 500 million animals that have been burnt. So all I can do in this situation is just do what I'm doing and try and contribute what little I have to doing the situation. There haven't been many donation videos this month because I've spent most of my money that I would normally spend on deliveries, and what I would normally get donated to me, I've been donating to everybody else. So I don't really have a lot in that regard. But yeah, in any case, I'm going to leave this video here, and you know, take it for what you will, and hopefully there'll be some more positive stuff soon. I really do. I'll see you all next time.